Hi everyone, just wanted to do a quick recap of the workshop that we did in Melbourne. Goes with this training course, so you can actually go through and cover over what we did in Melbourne and cover off the 2 days. So I'm going to quickly move through stuff. So you'd remember we talked about the roles of leaders and how that by setting the same targets and the same actions, we get the same variable results time and time again. And what we need to do is change our processes and change our thinking. And that's where the Mindshot process comes in, so that we get some more action. When we talked about the Mindshot process and the need to think about both the short term and the long term, so that we're spending some time dealing with the issues in the short term and getting those sorted, but we don't spend all our time there. We need to spend some time working on the longer term strategic issues. By the same token, you don't want to spend too much time spending on the long term, because you miss out on the important day-to-day stuff. We also talked about business improvement stages and how there are 3 stages we go through: structure, waste, beliefs. And the structure is all the visible things, products, pricing, profitability, customers, all that sort of stuff goes up the top. Then we have the waste and inefficiency that's hidden in our business. And we know that that's 20 or 30% of your costs will be tied up in waste and inefficiency. We also know that the biggest impact will be working on the belief systems of your people. So working on the invisible elements, that's waste and beliefs, will have a much bigger impact on your business than getting the structure and other things right. Now, they take time. To change the culture or the belief systems of a business can take 2 to 5 years, whereas working on waste and structural stuff can take 1 to 2 years, although waste can be a never-ending process. John Dollison talked to us from APAL. John did a great talk for us. His talk is actually in the workshop material, so I won't go back over it again. Make sure you have a look through his slides. We talked about change success and Chris Mason's change success model, which is about how you lift your your chance of success from 30% to much higher. So if only 30% of projects get up and get successful, it means we're wasting 70% of our effort. If we could flip that, so we got 70% of our projects really hit the money, then that would be much, much better. The model works around a couple of things. It works around 3 key areas. You've got to have readiness, so you've got to be change ready. So your business has got to be thinking about the change you want to do, and you need to be ready for it. And we'll look at the components of that in a second. You've got to have the capabilities to deliver. So you've got to have the organizational capabilities in place to deliver. And then lastly, you've got to have the beliefs, and these are probably different beliefs to the waste model beliefs, but these are the cultural elements that you've got to have in place for successful change. In terms of readiness, the things you must have are leadership support. You've got to have a strong need for the change. People involved in the change needs to understand what's in it for me. You need an effective change process, and you had to have confidence in your ability to actually deliver the change based on previous performance. In terms of capability, there's 2 areas. There's organizational capability and personal capability, and you need to have a look at those. In terms of belief systems, the important stuff is the tribe or significant others and how they view it, your personal attitude to what's going on, and the level of perceived difficulty in the team of the task you've got ahead. Watch the video on this. So if you see the module on this down below, watch the videos. There's 4 videos involved in that module. Have a look at them, because they'll give you a lot more insights into the levers you can pull in your business to get better change success. All right, we went through 5 key trends in horticulture. We talked about the first trend I talked about was robotics and how that's going to have an impact. And we're already seeing these things live and working now in horticulture, and they're going to have a bigger impact as we go. Smaller, more versatile robots rather than adapting robots to existing equipment, but also robots that are like exoskeletons and will give our people strength, endurance, and freedom from injury. Next trend was about data, and the real thing about data is we've got sensors everywhere. They're going to be providing lots and lots of data. The real trick will be analysing that information to find the insights in that data, and that's the key to it. So insights that are going to help you in your decision making will be the key to moving forward. You'll have more than enough data than you know what to do with. Getting insights into it's going to be the real challenge. We've got sensors coming from everywhere, so we can have drones taking photos. We've got weather stations. We can put sensors on bees and insects now. It's quite amazing. So lots of data. Interconnectivity. So all things are going to talk to everything. So you'll be able to talk to, all your devices will talk and interconnect, and making sure that your systems interconnect and share data between them is going to be paramount moving forward. The fourth trend is about provenance. This is particularly for those who are involved in the food industry. People want to understand where their food is coming from and that it's being grown by people who take care in it, not by this mythical corporate farm that runs around spraying chemicals on it to maximize productivity. I don't know where they get that from, but so they want people who care for their food and look at it, and they want a real connection with their food. How can you capitalize on that? And the fourth trend is about urbanisation. So we're seeing much larger proportions of the population are going to be urbanised and living in inner city apartments. So can we provide them with food and plants and gardens and stuff that help them pull that together? So things like ready packaged stuff. So AvoFresh is a great example of that. The pre-packaged roast vegetables and that sort of stuff you can buy from Woolworths now. 2 people sizes, that sort of stuff. And the top one is a picture of a hanging garden from Home Depot in the US. You can buy that hanging garden now and hang it on your wall and grow it. Perfect for that sort of stuff. How are you and is your business going to take advantage of the increasing urbanisation of our population in Australia? So there are 5 trends I want you to focus on and think about. We talked about efficiencies. We talked about 7 waste. Really powerful. Remember the 7 wastes: overproduction, waiting, transport, inappropriate processing, unnecessary inventory, unnecessary motions, and defects. So where do we produce too much? Where does stuff wait in our process because every time we pick it up and put it down, there's a chance it gets damaged and it wastes effort? Transporting. Where are we moving people and materials around? Inappropriate processing. Where we've got the wrong people or the wrong equipment to do the job, where we're using sledgehammers to crack walnuts, or where we've got junior people doing stuff that senior people should be doing, or worse, senior people doing stuff that junior people could easily do. Where do we carry too much inventory? Where we have unnecessary motions in our workstations and those sorts of places. And then lastly, defects. Where are we making mistakes that mean we have to rework and fix our product? Now, you can look at this across your whole business. You can look at it at a small departmental part of your business. You can look at it around a particular process, but apply the process. Personal productivity. We talked about energy vampires, and there are 4 main types: interrogators, intimidators, poor me, and aloof. And we all found there were energy vampires in our lives, and we talked about strategies to help eliminate them or minimize their impact on us. And some of that is by identifying the people who are positive and give you energy in your life and spending more time with them and less time with the vampires. We talked about personal branding and niche, and we talked about what brands these people had and these organizations had, and are they playing to their strengths. We then talked about understanding your strength and your personal brand strength and building on that. We also then talked about doing a personal SWOT analysis to help you get some actions around it. And I also mentioned that you can do a value proposition exercise. And if you follow the video tool that's attached to this program, you will see there's one called personal branding, and that will take you through that value proposition exercise where you can actually develop your personal brand. So that's what we did. Then we had some financial stuff. We talked about financial management skills. We talked about, for most businesses, this model holds true. We've got overheads, variable costs, and sales. And that gives us a break-even point for both money and in terms of units. And also then it determines the profit. So the profit is the point between sales and variable costs. It's that area in there. And for any particular unit of sales, we can work out where our break even or our loss is, or what our profit point is. Now, the important thing is this model holds true over the short term, over the short run of unit sales. Over longer unit sales, you'll find some of your overheads will go stepwise and other things might be curved or whatever. But the model holds fairly true. There are only 4 ways to lift profits. You can increase sales, decrease your direct costs, reduce your overheads, or sell more units for the same cost. So think about what levers you can pull in order to do a better job, okay, and lift your profitability. And sometimes it's just looking at some of the simple things and trying to work out where's the best return for our effort. before I go on, too many businesses in agriculture and horticulture spend too much time looking at the last one, which is selling more units, without looking at how can we increase sales, or drive down some costs or do something a bit different. In terms of increasing sales, I gave you a really simple model here, and it's just a multiple model. You just say, if we've got 100 customers, they each spend $100 with us every time they come in the door, and they come in the door on average 10 times a year. We have a business that turns over $100,000. And where do we need to focus our effort? Is it in increasing the more customers, or do we need to get them to spend more when they come? And spending more can be around value adding, and we talk through the value adding model, and that's attached to materials. But you can also just look at lifting price, or what do we do to lift price or volume or something else. And the last one then is transactions per customer. How do we get them to buy us more frequently? Okay, so that's the sales model, quite a simple tool. We talked about lead versus lag indicators. We talked about lead indicators are KPIs that signal performance before an outcome's achieved, whereas lag indicators, they provide concrete evidence of performance after an outcome. So the things like sales is a lead indicator of profit and that sort of stuff. So think about lead and lag indicators. Most times you need to have a basket of lead indicators and a couple of lag indicators for most businesses. We also talked about setting KPIs, and I don't have a slide for this one, but we talked about the VQ-TQ model. Remember? Verb, I got blank there. VQ-TQ. So we talked about making sure the verb, the quantity, the time frame, and the quality. So, deliver 100,000 units by the 31st of December at 97% DIFOT is an effective KPI. Build effective KPIs and indicators for your business. Okay, day 2 we talked about performance versus fit. So we talked about this model, which is based on the DuPont model, which says if you've got people who are a good cultural fit and are high performers, and you want to grow them. If they've got a good cultural fit but are low performers, you want to develop their performance and grow them and develop them. If you've got people who are low performers and are low fit with your fit for your organisation, then you need to get rid of them. The hard ones are the ones that are high performers but a low cultural fit and just don't fit with the team and just don't mesh. They're people that you eventually need to transition out, but because they can be quite a large proportion of your business, you may not want to just retrench them straight out. You might want to put a strategy in place for helping them move out of your business, but it's worth thinking about. Make sure you plot the people in your business, your employees, and work out where they fit for you, so you've got a good understanding of the model. All right, so we talked about social media. We talked about the 0 moment of truth. Remember, type ZMOT into Google, and there's a heap of resources on it. Got a couple of great ebooks that are worth watching, a heap of videos. Really puts this stuff into perspective. But basically it says people have changed, and they're doing a lot of research online and checking out a whole heap of things before they will go to the shelf or go to the shop or go somewhere and buy the product. They want to check you out. So social media, we talked about different social media. First thing is you've got to understand your target niche. So who is your target market? What is your niche in the marketplace? We then said you can use your blog and your website and YouTube to develop good content. So build some good content, because sometimes it's about being a thought leader in your industry and getting your head around how you're going to approach some of this stuff. So develop some good content, and we talked about ways to do that. You can use mechanisms like Twitter and Hootsuite to distribute the content to the various social media platforms, and make sure that you're on social media that connects with your target market. So there's Facebook, and there's Google Plus, and there's LinkedIn, and there's others. So make sure that you understand where your target market hangs out, and for your business it might be suppliers you want to contact with, not necessarily consumers, but make sure you find out where they are and where they congregate, and get onto those social media things. So don't think you have to be on Facebook if your target market is not on Facebook for business. Okay, so that was social media. Mike Boyle's presentation, so his slides are attached for you. Mike's a great presenter, and fantastic to have him along. And he gave you a real burst into sales and selling horticultural products and services. And I know it's changed many of your thoughts around how we approach business. Mike's presentation's attached, and I would also recommend that you, and it's attached to this post as well, that you do the sales performance course if you're interested in lifting your sales skills. James Atkins spoke to us about marketing sweet spots, and James's presentation is attached as well. James has also done a couple of great webinars for us, so it's worthwhile jumping onto the website to have a look at James's webinars. And he talked very much about the need to understand where your product sits, what are the benefits, and how can you add to those. And he also talked about the need that when you're doing your outbound marketing, that you hit the sweet spot. Okay. Look at James's slides to pick up on that. We then talked about contact programs, and the contact program videos attached and the thing, so I won't go into it, but it's actually about moving people up the loyalty ladder from prospects to advocates. And this is part of marketing and part of sales. It pulls it together, but it's a really important part of relationship building. So my favorite comment is the quality of your business is a direct reflection of the quality of the relationships that you have, and in building a contact program, a systematic contact program, you're creating a system for building relationships, business relationships over time that move people from being a prospect through to an advocate. Okay. So we got you to pull together a one-page plan, which is now being attached, and you should have that as part of your as a post on your Mindshop Online site. So go to that one-page plan, and I'm going to contact you to follow you up on that and see how you're going. So the next steps: think about your 2 online training programs that you need to do. Go back and work through this training program to recap the elements that you weren't sure of. So most of the elements are there in tools, and you can just step through them bit by bit. And pick 2 training programs and get stuck into them and do them. If you're keen on sales, get stuck into Mike Boyle's sales performance. If marketing was for you, have a look at the marketing and sales process. All right, we're going to leave it there. Talk to you again soon. Hope you're having a great day. Bye.